SupremeDaalmighty back in the building. Yo, we're gonna try this again. I'm not sure what happened with the last session, but we got Mode Cypher and the homies, the Snowgoons, on the show. We about to chop it up about the album. Let me try to get them in here and whatnot. Once again, I hope everybody's having a good week, and we appreciate all the support. Shout out to the sponsors once again. Snowgoons created Juices Music, Elite Sound International, Waysmo Radio. You know what I mean? Vinyl Frontier, Smile the Ghetto Child. Peace and blessings to everybody. There we go. There we go.
Yo. It was the update.
See?
Damn. I was like, when you said update, I was like, oh, let me check my apps. And then it was like fucking 23 apps to update. I was like, oh, shit. And then I saw the fucking Instagram right there, so I updated it. So yeah, man, that's crazy. I never had that before.
Word. I was gonna say, man, I'm like, yo, I know I'm kind of not digital savvy or whatnot, but I'm like, I know it can't be on my side, you know what I'm saying, this time anyways.
Right.
Word. So yeah, so anyways, yeah, let's get it set up, man. You know what I mean, we was discussing about AOK's name and whatnot in the last one. You know what I mean? So we were just discussing a little bit here and there. So I was mentioning the album and whatnot. Now the thing is, I didn't want to go too in depth with the album because y'all already did it on, you know what I'm saying, behind the grind and shit. Like I don't want to hold y'all up too long because y'all really went full in detail that night. Because I watched the whole show, man. And once again, I appreciate what y'all do for hip hop, and I love the show, man. Y'all had a lot of good energy and a lot of good points, a lot of the track. But y'all went through 1 through 18, so I was like, yeah, let me not hold them up and do 1 through 8. Let me not do 1 through 18 tonight. But I will be discussing the album with y'all. But I also have some questions that kind of pertain to the album as well that may not have been answered and whatnot. So first and foremost, I want to ask, yo, who came up with the idea for the cover? Was it like a mutual thing, or did somebody, you know what I mean, was like, yo, this would be a dope album cover, and then all y'all agreed on it?
Lingo came up with the idea. He showed me, like, cause we're on the whole album. It's our album, Mode Cypher. So we kind of went back and forth on the ideas and what we liked and didn't like, and what we thought would be better and shit. And in the end, though, he is the creator of the art, but I just, you know, I had some input, a little bit of input on that.
No doubt.
But
no doubt.
Yep. I can just confirm, like, I basically, I remember all the way in the beginning, we talked about a couple ideas, but then, you know, we was taking more care of the music. And then all I know is, like, because we have a little chat group on Facebook with AOK and Lingo, basically, where we, you know, discuss, like, all the points, because, you know, of course we need to talk about the stuff. And then they just showed me the artwork when they had it done, basically, and I liked it. Like, it's just dope. It has like that kind of, it's definitely a samurai type kind of Eastern kind of flavor, and definitely fits to the whole thing, you know. It's like that competition type kind of thing, you know, and that's what grind mode always is about, though. Like, even if it's all friendly competition, but like you see on every single cypher before, it's like everybody goes in, you know, and they try to compete inside the cypher in a way, but like not on some battle shit, but, you know, just on some competing type kind of shit. And that's what I always liked about the grind mode, man. Like the energy and the vibe is always good there, you know. And yeah, so when they hit me with the artwork, I was like, oh shit, this is super dope. Yeah, let's rock with it, you know, like no complaints at all.
Yeah, it's a dope album cover, man. Like, it's gritty. It's gritty, but it matches to both sides of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the Snowgoons and then you got the grind mode, and it was perfect. So I like how y'all put it together. That's why I was interested in who came up with the idea, because, man, that album is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah,
the cover. Once again, make sure everybody, you know what I mean, orders the album. You know what I mean? I already put mine in. You know what I mean? So make sure you get that. It's also on all platforms as well, but you know what I'm saying, it's definitely highly appreciated to cop the actual physical album to show your support, just for everybody to know and whatnot. Now I had a question for you, AOK. real quick, just a little backstory. So what made y'all want to come up with the whole grind mode? You know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm a cipher head. I love being in ciphers. I know how that goes, and I felt like a lot of that died down over the years. A lot of people say it didn't, but you know what I mean? I'm from New York, and I don't really see too many people on the corners no more. I don't really see people, you know what I mean, bars spitting like they used to be. So what made y'all want to bring that to life?
Well, to be honest, Lingo is the founder of Grind Mode, and basically it started years before it was a cipher. It started as a mixtape series, and it was just mixtape was a bunch of different artists from the area on the mixtape doing different songs to even a theme. There was a Notorious B.I.G. themed one that was really super dope. But really, like, a lot of people thought, including Lingo, you know, like ciphers were a smart way to go. I think the foundation was already there before we even jumped into the cipher. So, like, you know, we started off with one cipher an event, but there was fucking at least 50 to 100 MCs ready to go on that, you know, wanted to be on that cipher. But yeah, it really just, like, it made sense to start doing it, and the fans were there, the artists were there. It was just like, it was already a rolling ball, you know?
Word. Nah, I hear that. Now, the same question extended to you, Illegal. How did you bump into grind mode? Was it like in-person type thing? Y'all was at a show, was like, yo, let's all connect, or was it more like y'all bumped into each other through the internet platforms?
Right. It definitely was over the internet, you know. I was watching the grind mode for a while a little bit, and to be honest, I wasn't not too deep into it, right? But I saw what they're doing, and I saw their movement, and respected it always. And from time to time, I was watching some ciphers because I was subscribing to the channel. And I'm not sure who it was actually, if it was you, AOK, or Lingo, but somebody hit me up and asked if we want to produce a cipher, basically, right? And the funny shit is, I had this idea already too. Like, when I saw that because I noticed obviously they're using also different producers, right? Like all over the board. And I was like, man, we should do a cipher too. I was thinking that to myself, and shortly after, like, somebody hit me up and was like, yo, let's do a cipher. But then I was thinking, like, you know what? Like, you know, Snowgoons always do everything different, right? Like, people always think like Snowgoons is because we're not only producers, right? Like, Signature is like, we basically represent ourselves as a real group. And so I was like, you know what, when Snowgoons and Grind Mode Cypher comes together, we should do something different, right? So the idea was back then to do the first song, and I told the guys like, yo, but let's release this song as a real song, you know, because I thought actually that they all releasing all these ciphers on Spotify and digitally like real songs, but apparently they didn't, you know, like maybe certain songs, but not like all the songs. So I was like, listen, let's do a joint, and then we actually put it on a Snowgoons album, you know, and it is still a Grind Mode Cypher joint, basically. So this way we all benefit from it in a way, and it makes everything bigger and better, right? And so ultimately we put the joint on the last Snowgoons album, you know, the Renaissance Kings, and that's what like was the jumper for the album, because we got so much good feedback from that joint. And it fitted into what the Snowgoons doing anyway, you know, because we have a lot of anthem type kind of joints with a lot of MCs on it, and which is different from what Grind Mode is doing, but like then again it fits, you know. So and then when we had so much good feedback for the joint, we was talking further like, yo, maybe, you know, we was just talking about ideas, but like everything with the Snowgoons, when we say something, we're gonna do some. And I learned also Grind Mode is the same, you know. It's like, you know, in this business there's a lot of people, they want to do a lot of stuff and they never follow up, and it's not even like dissing somebody or whatever, you know. Everybody has a different drive, everybody has different limited time for whatever. But I saw like, man, Grind Mode is like a real good team, you know. When they do something, they do it and they pull through, and they do it also with the same love for the culture and the hip-hop like we have. So it was just a perfect fit. And then the album came together so quick. And, you know, my original idea, I was really thinking like we produced every joint, right? which when you look closer to the album, you're gonna realize we didn't produce every joint. And in the beginning, I was first like, okay, this is different from what I had in mind. But ultimately, now I definitely love the idea because it's more versatile and it came out super dope. You know, everybody came up with their A game. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who produced what or whatever. It's just like we saw it as like Mode Cypher and Snowgoons, that's the umbrella. And we give this platform to all the dope rappers and everybody that's involved in the projects, you know. And so this way, how it turned out right now is, in my opinion, way better if we would just, as Snowgoons, produced everything, you know. Like, so I'm really glad how it came out. But yeah, that's how we came across the grind mode, you know, to tell the full story, basically.
Yeah, I figured we do the origin story real quick. You know what I mean? For those that may not have, you know what I mean, knew about that. But to kind of branch off what you were saying about the producers, I actually had a question for you because the thing is, a lot of people, like when people contact me about the Snowgoons and stuff, they automatically assume there's a misconception. A lot of people automatically assume it's one producer. So there's multiple producers in the squad. So now, with that being said, I wanted to ask you this question for that album. Can you mention the producers from the Snowgoons on that album, or was it one specific producer out the Snowgoons?
No, we all produced, you know, like that, me and Signature, like everybody put in, and at the end of the day, like AOK and Lingo, they picked the beats, you know. We sent them a couple joints, and I think we did like 3 sessions where we sent them beats, and they picked from every session a couple beats. And then I guess while the process was going, they, you know, put other producers in the boat as well, which, like I said, I think it was pretty dope. But yeah, but everybody from the Snowgoons pitched in, and I think they fairly didn't even know who produced what, so they just picked whatever they felt like and think that this is hot, and that's how it came together. And now it's like almost equal it out from all of the Snowgoons. Everybody submitted beats, and I believe Signature has 2 beats on it. They picked 2 or 3 of my beats, and the same for that, you know. So it's like they had a real balance from everybody, and I think it came randomly, you know, not on purpose, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt. I just had to mention that because, like I said, man, it's a bunch of producers, and I feel like, you know, even though y'all's a whole, y'all's a team, I feel like the individuals need to kind of get that shout out too, that respect, because, you know what I mean, that be producing some shit. You got that fire, sick nature, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all as a team, even Crypt got some shit, right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like sometimes those, you as individuals, as single entities, need to be explored as well. So that's why I figured I'd ask, like, was it just mainly you that produced for the album, for the Snowgoon portion, or was it the team effort? You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, yeah. Everybody put in. Yep.
So I figured I'd mention that. So let's get a little bit into the album now, because you guys got a couple singles with the videos and whatnot. The latest release was a Slugfest. That shit was raw. You know what I'm saying? I like that video, man. It's definitely different than the Fierce Darts, but the Fierce Darts was my shit though. But like, yeah, the Slugfest was different because it didn't have y'all constantly on the stage. It had a variety of different things in it. So I definitely enjoyed that video as well as the other one. Now, my question for you for the video portion, was it tough to get everybody from the Cypher in one spot to do that, or was it more so you guys would just like send each other different videos and just kind of mesh them together?
So we had one take that we did on stage fully for the event, and then we planned it out because we're all pretty local. I think we're all New England, so it wasn't even planned to be the second single at that point, but we made it happen. Myself, Mo Ruckus, Trip B, and Johnny Concepts got together to shoot our parts all in one day. And then Enel shot his part and Lingo shot his part in a separate day. But it really wasn't that hard getting everyone together. Everyone was fucking ready to grind. Everyone was down. Like it was like a quickly planned thing too, I'm pretty sure. And everyone was just like in, you know, right away. Like, you know, we all know what we got to do, like, to make our shit better. So it really wasn't a question.
Yeah, I do remember. I mean, I think this is what the grind mode is doing anyway, you know, like they doing these shows and then knock out the videos there. Like I had the pleasure to be on the first session that we did back in New Jersey.
Yeah.
That's when we met too, right? And and I saw how they get down, man. Like they doing the show, and then like they knock out 2 videos right there, and then they do a couple more showcases, and then the next video. And I was like, oh man! And they're like hella organized, you know, everybody on point, like calling out the cats for like coming on stage to drop the video, and it was like, yo, it was a dope experience, you know, because it's like it's a different vibe, you know, because like. Sometimes they had to do the video twice just to have more footage, right? And it didn't feel like somebody was bothered by it. Like everybody was down, you know, and people was rocking and enjoying themselves. And that's what I definitely like on that night. Then I would really see like that was basically exactly what I kind of felt about the grind mode before I knew everybody personally in a way. And but exactly that vibe that comes from the videos and from the online presence and whatnot was exactly there that night, you know. It was really like a big family, and it was just super cool, man, like a dope experience. So, you know, I think that's just the video part felt like almost the easiest thing for the grind mode cats to do, you know, because that's what they're doing all day long, you know.
Yeah.
Word. You know what, I think that's probably why, like, subconsciously or whatever, I was really interested in the Fierce Darts, because I was there for a portion of that, I believe. So, like, or the entirety, I believe. So, you know what I mean? For those that don't go to the Grind Mode Cypher videos and the performances, you should. It's one hell of an experience, I'll tell you that right now. Like, I had one hell of a time, man. I met a lot of people, you know what I mean? Raw energy, everybody, you know what I mean? Very professional, but very hip-hop. You can't get more hip-hop than Grind Mode Cypher shows, man. I'll tell you that right now. Especially when we got Mickey Bourbon running through the fucking crowd drunk as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we gotta mention that real quick. But yeah, I remember that, yo. Everybody said, yo, where's Mickey? Where's Mickey? Yo, he's out. I was like, damn, we waited. Yeah, that shit was legit. That track though, man, that beat was crazy too. The whole track, man, I love that shit. So I wanted to talk about that for a little bit. But as for the album, like I was telling AOK before, man, the album is solid. I mean, like I said, it's kind of, in my perception, like I was saying before, to have multiple MCs on one track, sometimes you tend to wonder, is it going to drag along? You know what I mean? Is someone going to be the weaker one in the session? Is there going to be certain things? But shit was just rock solid. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody was legit strong. Everybody had bars. Everybody had flow. It was consistent. It wasn't like, oh, okay, this is dragging on and on and on and on, but it was just really fucking tough. And I love the fact that you guys were talking about the song Behind the Grind, but you guys actually used some of the footage. I mean, some of the vocals, and you added cuts in between the original sessions. So like that shit is awesome, man. The fact that you made it work that way without it sounding kind of like, you know what I mean, weird, or like it wasn't meant to be type shit. So I definitely gotta say that too, because that's, man, y'all doing shit no one else is doing, man. Like straight up and down. Now based on the album, I wanted to ask you, I got any specific tracks that kind of stand out to you more than others?
It's tough for me though, because it's so many, you know, and I was kind of like, you know, even if I produced a couple joints, I only heard like prior to the album maybe 2 or 3 joints, and then the guys sent it all the rest in once, right? So it felt almost like somebody who's listening now online, right? Like first time. And I remember I was just listening for, man, it takes, you know, the album is like it's definitely over 1.5 hours long with these 18 tracks, and like most tracks, they're going like 6 minutes and longer, you know, so it's definitely a long album. But I remember I was listening to the whole album, like usually, you know, sometimes when I check out something new, after a while you start skipping a little bit here and there, but man, I was checking out the whole album, was listening to every verse, you know, like, and yeah, man, then I felt like after I was done, I felt almost like, oh, I have to listen to it again, because I already forget like some of the joints and shit. And yeah, but it's like, it's just super fire, man. It's tough to pull out some joints, because once you like halfway through, you're like, oh man, this was a burner, and then the next song comes on and it's even doper, you know. So it's like, it's definitely crazy, man. Like I was really personally, man, I was surprised too, like when I had the full album there and could listen. I was like, definitely positive, and not that I didn't expect anything like low or whatever, right? But still, I was like definitely positive, like overwhelmed with like the all these dope tracks, you know. I was like, oh shit, man. So it's tough for me, yeah.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you the same question, because you was actually rapping on the project. So was there any personal favorite verses that kind of stuck out to you more than others, or you just feel like you were just, you know what I mean?
Favorite verses? I don't know. That's tough. I think a real contender for my favorite song would be Fierce Darts, to be honest. That's kind of like when I gravitated towards for a single. You know what I'm saying? It was just like it felt right. The song is catchy. The Snowgoons on the beat, they absolutely just like killed it, and it made it so it felt just right. And we wrap that one usually for like the last 3 events we've performed that live, and it's received well. I think that probably is one of my more favorite tracks on there, not because of my verse or anything, but just because of, like, I don't know, the overall reception and how well the other artists did on it too, you know. And we got Allie K on there. She's the only female on the album, but she absolutely went in.
Yeah, definitely. She definitely held it in the midst of all y'all dope spitters. She definitely did her thing, man.
Yeah.
Like, that shit was dope. Like that shit ill, man. You know what I love too about the whole thing is y'all all meshed together. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying earlier, you know what I mean? With these type of lineups, you usually would expect a weak artist, or you would expect somebody to kind of stick out more than others or something like that. But y'all mesh so well together. It's almost like y'all is a team. Like, it's not even just like separate people. Y'all all one team, because y'all all have the same flavor, the same energy. You know what I mean? Y'all all match together. So when you listen to these tracks, it's like sometimes you might even get lost in like who's spitting, because y'all so meshed together. Like, it's just like, yo, that shit is crazy. Like, I like the flow to it. It's very ill, man. I'm personally like Rap Lords. I don't know what it is about that shit, but that shit really slapped. Like, for me, I mean, it was crazy. But there's so much versatility. That's why I'm glad y'all use multiple producers instead of just one camp. Y'all use both camps, because you can tell the versatility. It kind of towards the end, you can tell it kind of switches up a little bit more of the feel to it, I guess, because the beats are a little funkier. They're a little more like it's dope. But I like how the album in its entirety is mixed together. It's hard shit, then it's kind of just having fun shit, and then it's back to the hard shit, then it's let's get fucking funky and raw with the shit. So I like the whole feel to the shit. I listen to every track. You know what I mean? I was just like, damn, this is a long ass album, but this shit was fucking worth it. You know what I'm saying? It was well fucking worth it. Just listening, because it was just raw, man. So I definitely appreciate what y'all do for that shit. You know what I'm saying? And also, in general, all the merc and everything else, that shit is fire too, man. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait to get my shit in the mail legal, man. I'm just waiting for you now, bro.
Yeah, I think we're getting low over there. I seen like on the sweatshirts, I think the hoodies, there's gonna be like one in stock of each, I think, of what's left.
Yes.
So
we had to restock on the shirts though, because they got sold out kind of quick, you know. Because I'm always like this, man. Look, it's like people, you know, investing money in merch and supporting and shit, right? And then you can do always a bundle, and I see people like bundles because you obviously get it cheaper instead of buying a CD and a shirt separated. And then I think like producing like a CD, the manufacturing cost is fairly low per se, right? And we always want to be fair at Goons Gear and shit. So I was like, I think it's very popular to have these bundles with a shirt and a CD, and you get like the CD almost compared to like if you buy it separated for free, you know, or for very low. That's cool, you know, because to me it's like I'd rather get the CD out for cheap basically with the shirt, and people have the music and rock it, you know. That's way more worth than slap on another 10-15 bucks to make some profit though, you know. Like, I mean, at the end of the day we all have to live, no question, you know, and people support and still paying some money, but like it's definitely cool. And yeah, man, I was I was really surprised that it's selling so good, because I gotta say honestly too, man, as we see in the last 2-3 years, it definitely changed, man. The vinyl game took over the CD game, you know, like the CD is now really dying out, and it's understandable, you know, everything is digital. Like nobody even has a CD player in the car anymore or some shit, right? Or rare. And so I do understand, and so the CD nowadays is really just like, it feels like a collector's item, you know. Like, to be super honest, man, I have an extended like CD player at home, but that's not the average, you know. Like nobody has CD players anymore at home, right? Like not even the new computers have CD slots anymore, nothing, you know. So it's definitely tough to even play a CD nowadays. So I see it always like people collecting them actually really, and they want to have a piece of like the real thing basically, right, at the heart, merch and shit. So it's cool, and yeah, surprisingly the Goon Mode album, it's selling like I mean, for that little circle, right, it's selling really good, man, and people really getting the CD, and we're gonna run out of CDs now really soon, you know. So if you want to have it, you better get it. It's a double CD, you know, comes real pressed and shit, looks really dope, and yeah, man, it's very positive, man. The overall feedback so far is really super dope, man. I love it.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
I'm saying, well, it's also mentioned y'all be making people broke because of all the stuff y'all put out is like, damn. Like I'll be trying to keep up sometimes with y'all, but man, y'all posting so much fire. It's like, damn, what am I gonna cop today? Like, should I save for this? Should I do this? There's so much fire out there, man. Like, I love that shit though. And y'all, you're right though. I'm gonna say it right now. Keep it a buck, man. Like your website, definitely some of the best prices I've ever seen, especially for the amount of shit you giving back. And it's quality. It's not like it's just fucking you throwing a Memorex fucking CD in there with the fucking label, or you know what I'm saying? Like you really throwing in the hardcore shit. It is great. It's great purchases. You know what I'm saying? So just putting that out there too for them to check out the Goons gear, man. It's definitely worth buying. You know what I mean? Instead of spending fucking $200 on Jordans, man, buy a fucking album. You know what I mean? Get a little bundle, look fresh.
Sure.
Why not?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that shit is dope. That shit is definitely dope. Now I just had a couple of questions outside the album, or I guess it kind of branched off to it. But I was gonna ask y'all, so where do you see Grind Mode in 10 years from now? Like, what kind of advancements would you like to see with what the franchise is doing?
Shit, I hope someone else is running the social media for me, that's for sure. Oh man. You know, just like stepping it up, really working as a bigger team. I want to expand the team a lot. We have a lot of really hardworking and dope artists that know hip hop and know what's good for hip hop and just want what's good for hip hop. So I really want to involve them in whatever we're able to do in the future, and just like really, I don't know, keep things going. I want a million views every video, you know? You know, that's 10 years or less than 10 years. Let's go with less.
Yeah, let's go 5. Let's go 1 year. we gotta get you an assistant in 1 year, because you sound like you guys, yeah, man, I see how y'all operate. So every Sunday, make sure to check out the Grind Mode every Sunday, man. You guys are really putting in work, man. You need to be acknowledged for that. I mean, outside the bringing the artists and stuff, you guys really bust your ass, especially Lingo, man. Like, when he told me his schedule, I'm like, damn, I don't know if I can even, work with that. Cause it's like, damn. He's like, yeah, I got 1 hour on this day, 1 hour on this. I'm like, damn, you really working. I'm like, that's a blessing though. That shit is dope. Yeah. So straight up. But I would also, I would also like to see maybe Grind Mode TV, or maybe Grind Mode, you know what I'm saying? Like different type of branch offs this shit. Because I feel like if I'm gonna watch TV, I want to watch some real fucking hip hop on TV, not the bullshit. I want to see something worth doing. Maybe you know what I mean? Maybe a battle scene if you haven't already thought of that. Like some real hip hop shit out here. Because you know what I'm saying? Like we need more of that. But yeah, that's what I think would be dope for a franchise. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got the Cypher shit on lock, so we ain't even gotta talk about no Cypher and this shit. Now I did want to ask you this though, as an artist, as an MC, Just to give you a little trivia on both ends, I guess you could say. So for you, I want to ask you, yo, like, what do you prefer, written or freestyle?
I guess freestyle, because you can't really like you can't fuck up a freestyle. You know what I'm saying? You just freestyling. It's not like you're gonna fuck. I mean, you can't really fuck up. Written, you can fuck up.
Very much.
I mean, I do like writing. I do like writing because you get that get to focus and come up with really like clever punchlines instead of just like, because when you're freestyling off the top, you don't get that much time to think and put depth into that lyric, and when you want to really dive deep and like find 2 or 3 meanings to like a punchline, it's better to write.
No doubt. I got this question for you, Illegal. What's your thoughts on ghostwriting? Ghostwriters, like, do you think it's okay for hip hop to have ghostwriters? Even though back in the 90s, a lot of the artists obviously used a lot of ghostwriting and shit, but do you feel like that shit is still, you feel like we should have that in hip hop at this point in time, or do you think we should just cut that shit and just get rid of it?
Well, it's always a tough question, you know. Like, I'm basically not totally against it, but I think it totally depends also on the artist, you know. I guess you have to look at very specific, you know. Like, if you're an artist who's known for his lyricism and shit, you know, then you find out later on, like, oh, he got his shit written and stuff, you know. It's like, then you feel a little bit different about it, right? And but if you're an artist that we know he's like a real lyrical beast, and, you know, like, known for it and shit like that, and like, yeah, like I said, and you find out like, oh, he got a lot of shit written and stuff, then it feels definitely weird. But I'm technically, I'm not all against it, you know. I mean, this is around since almost not day one, but like, you know, early man, like in the 80s already, Juice Crew and stuff, you know. Like, you know, the guys, man, it's, you know, so it's like I'm always kind of split in between, like, I don't really like it, but then at the same time it can also, you know, like bring some stuff out from other artists, like I mean, so again, you know, I think it definitely depends on the artist. So I'm not against it, but it's like, you know, it totally depends on the artist, on his style, on his image and everything. And so yeah, so it's like, you know, 50-50 basically. But I think you have to really look specific on the artist, you know. Like, I mean, you know, with some artists it wouldn't fly for me, you know, because, like, you know, let's just for an example, let's bring up an example like Chino XL, you know, like he's a really a beast, you know. And if he would now find, and we know he writes his shit, right? Like, it's no question. I'm not saying like he has ghostwriters, not at all, but I'm saying like if he would now come out and be like, yo, you know, my man, and blah blah blah, he, you know, it's like it would feel weird, you know, because he's like such a lyrical dude and shit, right? And then, but then again, other, like, for example, Snoop, we know Snoop got a lot of shit written from people, you know, and honestly, I don't really mind too much, you know. It's like, it's almost cool with Snoop because he has a different style, you know. He's not like that lyrical, like, kind of, you know, like, he's a styler, you know, like, he got cool shit and stuff, and for some reason, it's cool with me if he's doing it, you know, in a way. And of course it's a different league, it's more commercial, whatever, right? But like, so I think you have to really look specifically on the artist. So I'm basically not against it. And then of course, you know, original hip hop, man, we do our own shit, you know. We don't like to bite or whatever, because it feels also a little bit like biting basically, because or you know, because yeah, it's not original, right? Like, so it's, but yeah, you know, so I'm 50-50, I would say.
Yeah, I agree with that. Cause imagine you like Cannabis, the dopest fucking lyricist, and then, you know what I mean, years down the line, you find out that fucking the first album wasn't even written by him. It's written by Wyclef. Like, how are you supposed to take that? You know what I'm saying? Like, especially after him dissing him the whole fucking, like, after album, and then all of a sudden it's like, he wrote all your rhymes. How you gonna hate on him? Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So I hear that. Now, okay, I want to ask you this, since you're a lyricist and an MC. Back to what I was saying. What's your thoughts on rappers rapping over their own vocals at shows? Have you seen this? And if you did, what was your thoughts on it?
I've seen it, and I've seen really fucking really talented lyricists do it even, and I'm not sure. It's not for me. I don't really, we don't, when we book shows, if someone's gonna rap over their vocals, they basically don't get booked. And it's just like, it's an effort thing that we don't want people up there that are willing to have the chance to like mess up. You know what I'm saying? We want people up there putting their best forth, and that are gonna go and rehearse and put on an experience on stage, not just jump around to their vocals or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that everyone that does it does that. I've seen rappers rap like fully over their shit and miss a couple words, but they're spitting bars and punchlines that are heavy punchlines and shit. You know what I'm saying? But I personally wouldn't do it. I've never done it. Like, the only thing I keep in my show tracks is the hook, and that's it. And that's just, you know, like, you need to catch your breath sometimes when your set is energetic and you're actually putting out that energy on stage.
I feel you. No, I agree. I mean, you know, because you come there, I'm not looking at it like this. If you're gonna pay for an artist, you're gonna go pay to see them, and they just rapping over their own shit. Why would you bother putting money towards that shit when you could just be at home watching this shit on YouTube?
It's basically a listening party.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I agree with you on that. Now, I was gonna ask y'all. So, do you with the way the franchise moving right now with this album, you guys see yourself doing a part 2?
Oh, yeah, I absolutely.
I wouldn't say no.
I was gonna say I hope so, man. Cause that shit is lit, man. You can't stop it now, man. This shit's got going.
I've had a couple people ask about that too already. So like, I was like, I mean, we still got 16 videos to release, so
right,
shit's gonna be going.
That's
we're
great.
gonna definitely promote this for a minute, drop a couple more singles and stuff, you know. And I personally, man, like, I already talked about it with the guys when I was over there in Worcester, I believe. But like, we would love to definitely bring like the Grind Mode Cypher to Europe, you know. That would be something dope, you know. Like, it's I guess y'all both never been to Europe, right? Both of y'all?
Nope.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, it's definitely a different vibe over there, and I wouldn't say better, definitely not, but like, it's just different. And I see always all the time, like, when American artists come over here, or like just like overseas artists come to Europe for the first time, they're definitely like very flashed and impressed, and you know, like how European cats go down, they really appreciate it, right? And so yeah, I would already see, man, if we have a European Grind Mode Cypher, cats going nuts here, you know. I'm sure, because they, like, Europeans are definitely also into the cyphers and freestyle battles and that type of shit, you know. So there is a lot, even in Germany alone, for example, there is in a couple cities, they have like also weekly like freestyle events and cypher events and stuff like that. My man Chico Flow, for example, from Berlin, who's doing a lot of videos from us, there is a famous show in Germany called Rap am Mittwoch, which means like rap on Wednesday. So every Wednesday they do a cypher, and he's filming them since years now, every fucking Wednesday, you know. And they're putting it out on YouTube and everything, and it's still popular, you know, and it's still running like for years now. And it's crazy to me because they're doing it like literally every Wednesday. They leave out like 4 or 5 times a year, but that's it, right? But yeah, so I would say, like, if Grind Mode Cypher is coming over here to Europe, man, that's gonna be brutal, you know. Like, it's definitely, would it be dope? I just see definitely it's probably difficult to get like a whole bunch of cats over here with the traveling and all of that, you know. And but yeah, man, that would be a blast. Like, but you know, that's definitely not out the picture at all. Like, we definitely spinning around ideas, and hopefully we can make that happen. That would be super dope.
Yeah, for sure.
See now what you're gonna have to do, illegal, is you're gonna have to invest in the Snowgoons jet. You know what I'm saying? This way you can get everybody to and from the state. You know what I mean? Straight up. That's what's gonna have to happen with as many people's in grind mode, man. You gonna need a whole train to yourself, or fucking a whole plane or some shit, man, just to transfer everybody. Like, but that shit, I think that shit would be well worth doing though. You know what I mean? Because especially if they haven't been out there. Europe, like everybody overseas tends to appreciate hip hop a little more than us over here for whatever reason. But I guess it's because of the ages, the time frames, or whatever. You know, everything is different over there from here. So that shit would be dope, and I definitely feel like that would be something worth doing.
I might not leave.
Word. You got to move in with the Snowgoons, man. You got to just pay them rent and shit.
I've seen plenty of footage from overseas shows to know what to expect, and they definitely have strong love for hip hop and the culture over there, man. And I love to see that shit, man.
Or definitely, man. I mean, we definitely, as of right now, we definitely need to surpass the John Wick 4 movies trilogy and do you know what I mean, Goon Mode 5, Goon Mode 610. You know what I'm saying? Make it all the way to the end. You know what I'm saying? Have Donnie Yen do some fucking voiceovers or some shit, like, you know what I'm saying? So but yeah. Also, Behind the Grind, man. That shit was dope. Make sure everybody check that out. I was gonna say, anybody before we wrap this up, anybody got any questions? I mean, I did have one more thing I want to ask both of you. So for those that are listening and those that want to participate, how can they go about doing that? Like, should they reach out to you guys through the inbox? Should they social media? Like, what do you guys prefer so you don't get swamped with a whole bunch of artists?
So if you want to get on the Grind Mode Cypher, basically you have to follow our pages and our groups or our email blast, and we make announcements through all three. When we make the announcement, that's when artists submit for consideration. So that's when you lay your music down, you put your best song out there for us to hear, or you like show us your beats or whatever. Like producers and MCs can submit for events. So just whenever you see that post for the next event coming up, if you can make it to that event, or if you're a producer, you can just send in for whatever event. You don't have to be there. That's how you really do it, man. Like, that's the only way to get in is through that, because those are where we monitor the submissions. You know, you can send music to us. It's just like we can't really, like, we're not gonna be able to remember everybody that sends music to us and like hit everybody up. You know, like it's a lot of people. So
true. Yeah. The same for the Snowgoons, man. Like, you know, I mean, I'm catching lately really a lot over the gram, you know, because Instagram is just so universal. And I think from all the social media, it's definitely still my favorite in a way, you know. And I'm you know, so it's easy to inbox us there, and if we pick it up, we pick it up, you know. And don't be offended if we don't, because it's like, man, there is like hundreds of messages, requests, and I try to go over it as much as possible. But you know how it is, man. Like sometimes it's a lot of spam too, you know, and I look through and but here and there I catch some people and they're sending some stuff. Man, if I would like really like respect the inbox, you know, I would be all day long just listening to stuff and everything, and that's just not possible, you know. But yeah, man, like it's, you know, I mean, look, if shit comes together, then it's gonna work out, you know. So try your luck, hit us up, you know, and like AOK said, definitely follow Grind Mode Cypher, you know. Like if you're a rapper or producer, definitely get there, man, and show what you got, you know. It's like these guys are serious, and I love to see more new stuff all the time, you know. And I'm sure you Supreme, man, you're gonna be on the next project probably as well with some beats, you know. I see you're heating it up more and more, you know. Like definitely, man, they have some fire already. So
yo, y'all getting me amped, man, with all this shit y'all posting all the time, man. I'm like, yo, I'm about to dig in the fucking bolts and shit, because there's just so much heat y'all pumping out. I'm like, yo, I gotta get in with this shit, man, because y'all so real hip hop. Like, it just, anybody that's real hip hop has to appreciate what y'all do. If they don't, then they faking the funk, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just keeping it a buck. Like, but yeah, definitely. And yeah, once again, don't take offense if illegal, you know what I mean, AOK can't fucking check you out, man, because they busy. They is busy, man. It ain't a personal thing. And now, honestly, if they don't get back to you, it is what it is. But for another thing, for those to understand too, don't take shit personal. If they hit you
Absolutely.
back like, yo, like try something different, this and that, take it for what it is, critique. You know what I mean? I hate saying this so many times, but unfortunately, people don't get that. Automatically want to start hating it, want to start posting up shit. It's like, nah, man. Like if they don't like your shit, just change the formula, figure it out, and then come back. That's all. Don't be blocking people out that gay shit like it's shit's over. Like, you know what I mean? Just take it for what it is.
True.
But especially because y'all busy. Like, let's keep it a buck. Like, you can't be sitting here going through the email telling people we want hip hop, and then some trap artists go slide up in your shit like, yo, I want to be down. It's like, nah, we from two different sides of the tracks. You know what I'm saying? So
True.
it makes it a little easier for y'all, so you don't have to dig through. One of the questions was, how old do you have to be a part of it?
I think back in the day we had our youngest affiliate, and I think they were like 14. So like basically, if it's really, I mean, I would say all ages, I guess. Like if you're 6 and you got bars, bring it. You know what I'm saying?
That question was from Marco Queens. I mean, I do understand why they would ask that too, because the Mode Cypher I went to in New Jersey, they did serve alcohol and stuff, so maybe that might be some kind of issue if you had to film a video with them. Maybe so, maybe not. But I understand where that question would come from.
Yeah.
But let me see what else. Checking the questions. Rockstar asked,
yo, Marco, you can submit if you want. Go to the Mode Cypher official Facebook group, and there's a post pinned at the top that explains everything about getting into the ciphers. You can just check it out.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, that definitely makes it easy for them too. Check that out. Rockstar asked the Snowgoons if there's gonna be a restock on the Onyx All We Got vinyl.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. I thought your mic, I think your mic is acting up, or somebody's calling you saying.
Yeah, you're muted.
Doesn't work anymore?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, so the question was from Rockstar about the Onyx vinyl. Are you going to do a restock on the All We Got?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Goonsgear is definitely bringing a lot of back of the vinyl now. I think next Tuesday is a big drop of Snack the Ripper, Crypt, and Benny Holiday. But yeah, the Onyx shit will be back too. Yeah, of course. Like they have the anniversary coming up for Back the Fuck Up now, 31st of March. It's like 30 years, man. That's crazy, you know. That's basically next week, yeah, man. Like, and I remember as a kid, man, I was like jumping in front of MTV Raps when they was playing Slam, you know, and like I literally have a video taped with like the first cam we had back in the days, like those big ass fucking camcorders. Me and my friends like jumping in front of the TV Slam, you know, and shit like that. So that's crazy. And yeah, so 30 years, man, like time is kind of flying, you know, it's crazy. But yeah, I think Goonsgear are bringing back a lot of the especially the Onyx stuff back on vinyl, because, you know, obviously we work so close with Onyx, and we doing now officially their merch as well in Europe. So whenever they give a license to reprint some of the vinyl, we definitely gonna do that. Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah, not a dope. Wild East asked if there's gonna be a cassette version of the Goon Mode album.
That would be interesting too. But I think there was a reason why we didn't put it out on vinyl as well, because there's so many tracks, and you know, it would have been a triple vinyl. and it's just very expensive, man, to print up vinyl. You know, it's like a double vinyl is already kind of expensive, but like doing triple vinyl is quite expensive, you know. So yeah, I wish we could bring it on vinyl, and I mean, this is not off the table, you know. We're gonna see how it goes, though. It still could happening, you know. But yeah, tape would be dope too, you know. It's kind of similar to the CD, man. It's definitely a collector's item, I guess, but there are actually really tape heads out there, man. Like I see on Instagram sometimes kids, man, they have hundreds of tapes, you know. They're really collecting tapes. That's so dope, because for me as a DJ, it started with a tape too, you know. There was, beside the vinyl, the really first medium that I had, like recording my own mixtapes and put it on tape and put it out there, you know. Like, so I always have a special relation to tapes. I definitely like tapes, man. Even if you think about it, like the way a tape works, right? With the Walkman and shit, you have that shit on your side, you put the tape in and you let it run, and it's something that actually runs and shit, you know? So it's kind of crazy. It's always like mind-boggling to me sometimes when you think about how this shit works, you know? And I guess especially nowadays for kids, man, they don't have no idea how this shit even worked back then. When your tape got popped, you need to take a pen and, like, you know, get the band right and shit, you know, stuff like that. Like kids nowadays, they just have their phone, they push on the music, and maybe if they have no internet, then it doesn't run, you know. But that's their biggest concerns. But we had to deal with all types of shit, like batteries for the Walkman, the cord from the headphones been fucked up, you know, and you couldn't push forward, and just all types of shit, you know, man.
Yo, you're making me feel mad old.
Yeah, I'm talking that old man shit, you know.
Oh shit.
I'm like during the early 90s, you know, we still had the tapes up and everything, you know. So it's like I'm definitely a Walkman kid, you know. Well, but that's basically really an 80s shit, right? Like the 80s was the Walkman era. Like before then the CD came, because I believe like early 90s, that's when the CD came into the game and fucked up the Walkman, basically, because it was like more flashy, more dope, better sound, and just easier, you know. So, but yeah, man, I'm still coming up from the Walkman shit. But now, man, there is a lot of kids nowadays, like young kids, that collecting tapes, and I still love like how a tapes look like, and you know, the whole thing. So it's cool. But yeah, man, like the grind mode on tape would be dope. I will actually look into that, you know, make a dope double tape or something.
You know, I'm thinking of, y'all should do a pop figure though, or some shit for the fucking Goon Mode shit, like one of the statues in the background or some shit, making it into a pop figure. Yo, that should be fucking fire.
Word. Yeah, man, definitely gonna talk to Generation. She's like the Funko Pop designer, man. She got always the dopest shit coming out with her art and shit, you know. So yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
She a beast. She a beast with all that shit, man. I was like, yo, she gonna maybe broke one to buy all these pop figures and shit. My whole room's gonna be decorated, and everybody gonna walk in my room like, yo, something wrong with this dude. Like, he got all these all these toys and action figures or whatever you want to call it, you know, like. Word. And I feel you on the Walkman feel and all that shit too. Yo, when I show my sons a cassette, they're like, what am I supposed to do with this? I'm like, it was a collector. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't understand the CD tape thing either. So I definitely agree with you on that. But yeah, that shit's dope. But anyone got any more questions or whatnot? Because we pretty much touched base on everything and whatnot. While we wait for that real quick, you guys got anybody else you want to shout out or anything you want to mention?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you go first, eh? Okay.
Okay. Yeah, shout out to first of all Lingo for you know, everything, for believing in me, and then Snowgoons as well for believing in us and really making this happen, and then all of our fans. Thank you so much for supporting, streaming, buying the merch, which you can get at Goons Gear right now. Like we said, it's limited, so it's getting low. But yeah, shout out to my family, all that, my daughter, parents, pets, you know.
Word. Yeah, man, you know, definitely big up to all the MCs on the album, man. Like, everybody came through, you know. It's quite a lot, man. There's some legends on it, some new cats on it, and honestly some some cats I never heard of, kind of, you know, which is always fresh to me and dope, you know. But like, man, I enjoyed the whole album, and this might be really the first project that we put out, kind of, where I was like, you know, more almost like from a listener's perspective, you know, in a way, because obviously Lingo and AOK, they handled a lot of like the mixing and, you know, putting the guys together and everything, you know. So they took a lot of from my plate, which gave me the role of like the outside looking in type kind of role, and which was mad cool, you know. But now, man, everybody shout out on the thing, all the producers there for the whole project, you know, and of course everybody that like, you know, copped the album so far or checked it out online, spinning it, promoting it. Like, it's you know, it's a little thing to like something and to share something on social media, man, but it means a lot to us artists, because that makes the whole thing bigger and better, you know. That's the support we need. That's why we keep going, and that's why we keep grinding, you know. I mean, that's definitely a important thing for everybody, that everybody can do. So now also thanks to every single person out there who's rocking with us.
No doubt, no
Yeah.
doubt. I gotta mention too, man. Y'all should know how you got the Snowgoon shit right there. That shit is fly, right? So y'all should get the Goon mode, man. You know what I'm saying? That should be the next shit, yo.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that. I was like, ooh, I need a hat. I need a hat.
Yeah,
That shit
man,
would
like,
be
you know
fly.
what, like, I think we should, like, once the first round of CDs is sold out, which will be really soon, we're gonna do a second round of CDs, and maybe with the tape, and then bring up some new merch, you know, like some hats or something. That would be definitely dope.
Absolutely.
That's right. We will talk about it more like after this chat, you know, but that's definitely like we said, we have a lot of singles and videos coming up too, you know, so it's not definitely by far not done with this project, you know. People need to hear it, and it's like that nowadays. You have to promote every single song kind of in a way, you know, so people actually really heard of it and stuff, you know. So we will keep going. Yeah, man, that's definitely something we're gonna do.
Absolutely. We got 4 months of videos with all sorts of super dope artists. I can't wait, really.
Word.
It's gonna be a long time of promo every day.
In a way, it kind of promotes itself, though, man. There's so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? One listen is like an injection in the vein, man. Like, you know what I mean? You kind of hooked after that shit. So I agree. People need to go check out the platforms, definitely. But goonsgear.com is where it's at. You need, like I said, cop that shit. Then go cop the Benny Holiday shit. Then go cop the Criff shit. You know what I'm saying? Just keep going, man. Just, you know what I'm saying? You might as well set up a rewards program or some shit, because you guys, your shit be just empty. I be going there sometimes like, yo, I want to cop this new shit. Shit's empty already. God damn, like,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing, though, man. That means people love the product. They love what you guys are promoting and what you guys are pushing, man. So once again, huge salute to y'all and everything y'all do. And make sure to check out the Grind Mode every Sunday. I try to tune in as much as I can, but yo, they will give you a chance to play your music and to give you an option to do things. So like, that's very rare where you're actually gonna get the right kind of promotion and shit. So definitely check out the Grind Mode YouTube and whatnot. Subscribe to them, follow the Snowgoons, and also follow the Grind Mode Cypher. And yeah, so yo, but once again, man, I didn't want to hold y'all up too long. Just a lot to talk about. But yo, Illegal, I hope you enjoy your vacation, man, because I know you out there. It's well deserved, well fucking deserved. I didn't want to keep you too long. I'm sorry, generation. I'm sorry, yo.
I'm in Canada drinking root beer and shit, you know.
Shit
in Germany.
Shit. But yeah, yo. So I'm gonna drop this shit on YouTube. The new YouTube channel, like I told everybody to subscribe to. And yeah, we're gonna keep chopping it back to this, and you know, maybe a couple months from now we talk about the Grind Mode 2. You know what I'm saying? The Goon Mode 2 album and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Dope. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
No doubt.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, man. And we're gonna chop it up soon, yeah?
Yeah, you already know. Yo, once again, it's great meeting you, AOK. You know what I mean? We're gonna keep chopping it up from here. Don't stop here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that was tuned in. I'm sorry for the whole craziness in the beginning, but you know, Instagram is.
That was my mess up, you know. I should have updated the app more, man.
Yo, it's all good. I had to do the shit too, because it should be wild, yo. But yeah, once again, man, appreciate everybody tuned in and whatnot. And yo, y'all have a great weekend, yo. I'll check y'all in a few.
Peace
Will
out,
do.
y'all.
Peace, peace.
All right, brothers, peace. Yeah, peace. That was the Grind Mode Cypher. A-OK. That was Snowgoons DJ Illegal. You know what I mean? Make sure to go to goonsgear.com for all the fly gear, you know what I'm saying, the hoodies and shit, all types of fly gear. Make sure to get the other album, you know what I mean, Grind Mode album and shit. Subscribe to the YouTube Grind Mode Cypher channel. Subscribe to the Snowgoons channel. Follow both of them. You know what I'm saying? Check out all the platforms for the new album, Goon Mode. Follow me if you feel like it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I hope you have a great weekend. We're gonna be working on the next week's show and shit. A lot of new changes for the show. You know what I mean? But yeah, hit me up if you want to hop on the show. We're gonna be chopping it up. Check out the Goon Mode album once again. Shout out to the homie Benny Holiday also. Make sure to pre-order his album and shit. I got production on it. Shit's fire. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, much love, yo. I appreciate all y'all, and I will check y'all next weekend.